What's going on, everybody? Welcome to The Shift on YouTube with Francisco Rojas. Welcome today, man. We're going to talk about, last week we talked about 3 Statcast numbers that I think you guys should trust, albeit a few weeks, but for the rest of the 2023 season. And today we are going to do the opposite. And I'm going to give you 3 that you should be skeptical about, that you shouldn't trust, okay? That's what we're going to do today on The Shift. Go make sure you also check out me and Nick Earnshaw every week. We're doing a podcast episode. We're on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple, here on YouTube. We're everywhere, baby. We're everywhere. Go make sure you check out our last episode, starting a new series where we're breaking down our all-time lineups for each franchise. Last week, we did the Dodgers. Let us know what we should do going forward, man. Let us know franchises you want to hear from us. So that's going to be the link to the show will be in the description box below. So make sure you go check that out. If you're not watching on YouTube and you want to listen to your podcast in another form, link to that will be below. So let's get to today. 3 Statcast numbers to be skeptical about, to not trust. That's what we're talking about today. So, Number one. I'm going to use this team. I'm not even using a player as a whole. I decided a team that had a historical start. 13-0. I believe they're 13-2 now, somewhere in that range. After a couple of losses to the Toronto Blue Jays, who I think the Blue Jays are really a better team than the Tampa Bay Rays, and will be going forward for the rest of the year. But let's just talk about the Tampa Bay Rays. Still, if you're looking at, even after a couple of losses, I know, just a couple of losses, they're still tops in, stats like, and we're looking at Statcast, like WOBA and expected slugging percentage and, WOBA contact. They're all at the top. They're all in like the top 2 to 3 per, they're right there in Major League Baseball as far as those numbers go. And man, there are so many guys in this roster, I'm sorry, that they'd have to put together like these great seasons from some guys I've never even really heard of, like Josh Lowe. I know Brandon Lowe. He's somebody to trust, like Brandon Lowe, Yandy Diaz, Randy Arozarena, and Wander Franco, who's someone else that still really needs to stay healthy. For the entirety of this year. Even with those guys, I trust like a Yandy Diaz, who can be, I think he can be a little bit underrated. No, he's not a super big power hitter, but he's a pretty good hitter. Pretty good hitter. When you look at like stats like WOBA and just regular stats like on base percentage, stuff like that, he's up there, man. He's one of the more underrated hitters in baseball. But besides that, guys like Luke Raley and Josh Lowe and I'm trying to think who else is Taylor Walls, right? Taylor Walls is another player. Like, okay, but like they're tops and even just regular home runs. They're tops and home runs still. Like, come on, man. Tampa Bay Rays. Not somebody to trust. I wouldn't be, surprised if they ended up in the middle of the pack, at the end of the season. But you know what's crazy? I wouldn't even be surprised if they were somewhere in the top 10 because that's what the Tampa Bay Rays do. They always surprise. But look, you cannot trust them being up there with WOBA, expected slugging percentage, WOBA contact, those type of Statcast offensive numbers. You can't expect them to be tops going forward. Number 2. Toronto Blue Jays third baseman Matt Chapman. And I'm a Matt Chapman fan. Love Chapman, what he does offensively and defensively. But some of these numbers he has put up to start the year have just been unbelievable. He's been one of the best hitters in baseball. You can argue he is the best hitter in baseball so far. But, like, dude, his WOBA, 545. His walk percentage, 18%. I think the lowest, it's 2019, just under 22%. As far as his strikeout percentage goes, expected slugging percentage, 812. Like, obviously no one's going to be finishing with that type of expected slugging percentage, but expecting batting average upwards towards 400. Exit velocity, he's just destroying the baseball, just over 98. And look, he's had an incredible start to this season, but some of these numbers you look at, like I said, like WOBA, like even his hard hit percentage, just under 67%. Like, for somebody like Matt Chapman, who I'm a fan of, and I think maybe he could have a big year this year, but I don't think, look, even like WOBA, he's tops right now, 545. That's like right up there, among the hitters in baseball. And the farthest, I think the highest he's ever finished, or at least, looking back at some of his numbers, like look at his 2019 season where he hit like 36 home runs that year. Finished like, 50th to 60th in WOBA. And that's not bad. It's good. But like, don't expect, I think, Matt Chapman to have this type of year the entire year to be one of the best hitters in baseball. As far as some of these numbers go, like WOBA and his strikeout percentage and exit velocity, all that stuff. Wouldn't really trust it all that much. And then last one, another Toronto Blue Jay, Alek Manoah. Alek Manoah he was one of the better pitchers in baseball last year. His earned run average just over 2, strikeout percentage just over 22%. Was one of the better pitchers and more fun pitchers for me that I thought for me to watch in Major League Baseball last year. And he just had a horrendous start to the season. Like his expected ERA is almost touching 8. His walk percentage is more than doubled from last year. Again, only a couple of starts, 3 starts, I believe. His walk percentage, 16%. His strikeout percentage is, 7% down from last year. Hard hit percentage, just over 44%. Like I can keep going on and on with some of his numbers that he has put up, through a couple of starts this season, but don't trust it, man. Alek Manoah is a good pitcher. He's a dog, man. I know a lot of people like to use that term. He's a dog. I just would not expect him to put up these type of numbers. It's not like his velocity is like super down. Maybe through a couple of starts, it's a mile or 2 per hour. But I mean, look, getting ramped up throughout the season, so he'll be fine. Alek Manoah is somebody who'll be fine. I wouldn't expect any of his his walk percentage or his strikeout percentage or the amount of hard hits he's been giving up so far to really trust that so far. Don't be skeptical about that. Just being the type of pitcher that Alek Manoah is and the type of person he is, it doesn't seem like this is the type of pitcher he's going to be this year. I wouldn't really I wouldn't trust it. That's all I'm going to say about Alek Manoah, man. So those are your 3, man. I know that. Look, I kind of gave you more than I think last video I gave you 3 stats altogether. I know I gave you more than that, but some of these players they get there's an umbrella you can put it under as far as like Chapman and Manoah go. Just a bunch of numbers, even with the Rays. I kind of did that with all 3, but thought it was it made sense. So that's all I'm gonna say. So make sure go check out the last one if you didn't watch it. The Statcast Numbers to trust for the rest of the year, because if you want to see a positive video, maybe you think this is a negative video, go watch that. That's more of a positive experience, but go get both sides, man. So that's going to do it for me today. Go make sure you follow me on Twitter and look out for me and Nick, our next podcast coming up soon, coming up later this week. So thanks, guys. See you guys next time.